How are you? I'm Dr. K.S. Kumar, working as Associate Professor in C. Siddhartha First Grade College. I'm having a YouTube channel as Dr. KSK. You all supported my YouTube channel and viewed our videos, so which are mainly concentrated on the chemistry. See, I'm going to introduce my friend Dr. C. Vijay Bhaskar.
Hi viewers, I am Dr. C. Vijay Bhaskar, working as Associate Professor in Sri Siddhartha Professor College, Tumkur. I also have my YouTube channel, namely Bhaskar's Chemistry. You can also see some of my videos in this channel.
Today we are here to discuss about something regarding the chemical kinetics. So as the teachers of chemistry in Tumkur University, we would like to give some information related to the chemical kinetics, and we too participate in this discussion. Sir, so what exactly they are going to study in reaction kinetics or chemical kinetics?
Okay, sir. So, chemical kinetics means the study of rate of reactions. There are some reactions which are very fast, whose rates cannot be studied, and there are some reactions whose rates are very, very least, which can also not be studied.
That is the chemical kinetics is the study of rate of chemical reaction and factors influencing the rate of chemical reaction and also the reaction mechanism. Sir, could you please tell what is the rate of the reaction? How do you define the rate of the reaction?
So, rate of the reaction can be defined as it is the decrease in concentration of the reactant over the period of time, or it can be the production of the products with the time.
So in brief, we can say that the rate of the reaction is nothing but the rate of change of concentration of either reactant or product. Of course, mathematically that equation can be given, and we shall proceed to that. What is the law of mass action? So I remember it is studied in the previous classes itself, that is at constant temperature, rate of the reaction is directly proportional to active masses of the reactant. And we know what is the rate constant. Rate constant, of course, it is nothing but the rate of the reaction when the concentration of the reactant is unity. And we know this rate constant, the features of this rate constant. So rate constant is a constant at constant temperature. That means it varies with the temperature. The rate constant is actually the one which is based on the law of mass action. Law of mass action condition is that temperature remains constant. Therefore, the rate constant is constant at the constant temperature. And of course, this rate constant, as it is a constant, it varies along with the temperature.
Yes.
And of course, the rate of the reaction actually as the time progresses decreases. But the rate constant is a proportionality constant basically, therefore it remains throughout this. Then what exactly they are going to study in chemical kinetics? That is the molecularity, order of the chemical reaction, etc.
So, first of all, one should know the basic things to study the rate of reactions. So, let us define some of the basic terms like order, molecularity of reactions. So, first let me explain you molecularity. So, how many number of moles of reactant molecules are taking part in the reaction, that total number is equal to molecularity. Say for example, 1 mole of A plus 1 mole of B reacting to give a product. Here the reactant A is 1 mole and the reactant B is 1 mole, therefore the total molarity is 2. So that is the actual number of molecules participating in the reaction.
So we can say the molecularity is the sum of the reactant molecule taking part in a chemical reaction as mentioned in the balanced chemical equation.
Yes, sir.
That is, if one reactant molecule participates, its molecularity is 1.
One.
It's also called as unimolecular.
Unimolecular.
If 2 reactant molecules have participated, it's a bimolecular reaction and molecularity is 2. Similarly, 3 or 4 will be there. Okay, this is the molecularity of the reaction, and of course it depends upon the balanced chemical equation.
Yes.
According to the definition, that should the balanced
Balanced
chemical equation. In that balanced chemical equation, you have to sum up the reactant molecules that have participated. Similarly, the another term is the order, I think.
Order.
So order of the reaction is the sum of the powers of the concentration terms of all the reacting molecules as mentioned in the experimentally determined rate equation.
Right.
I am correct, sir?
Yes.
Yes, so experimentally determined rate equation means that order cannot be predicted by the chemical equation. We have to conduct the experiment and we have to find out the dependence of the rate of the reaction with the concentration of the reactant. Okay, so you have to sum up the powers of the concentration term and you have to conduct the experiment to determine that. I think based on the order also, we can classify the chemical reactions as first order reaction, second order reaction, third order reaction, etc. Is it, sir?
Yeah.
So first order
So here,
reaction.
let me make one thing clear.
Yes, sir.
If two reactants are participating in the reaction, but if the rate of reaction depends on only one of the reactant, then that is called the first order
First order.
equation. Suppose if it depends upon the concentration of both the reactants, then it will be a second order.
Second order.
equation. And also, molecularity will be always integer, and order may be integer or may be fractions also.
That means there will be fraction order reactions.
Yeah,
also.
sure.
So in this type of reaction, the rate of the reaction is proportional to the fraction power of the reactant
Reactant.
concentration. Okay, sir. So can you give that example for that fraction order reaction? That is I think it is the combination of the hydrogen and the bromine.
Hmm.
So here the rate of the reaction is proportional to the first power of the concentration of the hydrogen, whereas it is proportional to the half power of the concentration of the bromine. So sum of the powers of the concentration is 1 plus half, that becomes 1.5, that 1.5. And that is the best example for the fraction order reaction. We have other
So many
examples also. Similarly, I want to introduce that zero order reaction also. Some of the reactions, concentration do not,
Change.
reactant concentration do not influence the rate of the chemical reaction. In other words, you can say the rate of the reaction is independent of reactant concentration. Usually, these reactions are photochemical reactions. These reactions are thermochemical reactions, photosensitive, thermosensitive reaction. I do remember the particular example, that is the combination of the hydrogen and chlorine to give the hydrogen chloride is a photosensitive reaction. The rate of the reaction neither depends on the concentration of the hydrogen, nor depends upon the concentration of the chlorine, but it depends upon the light it absorbs. Such reactions are called zero order reactions. To summarize, we have the zero order reaction, we have the fraction order reaction, we have the first order, second order, third order reactions. So this order and molecularity can be distinguished. Okay, sir. So then there is another thing, another term I heard, that is a pseudo first order reaction or pseudo unimolecular reaction. The pseudo means the false. Actually, these reactions, it appears like a higher order reaction. Appears like a higher order reaction, but behaves as the first order reaction. Molecularity is more than one, but the order is one. So it appears almost like the higher order reaction, but practically it is a first order reaction. So you can conclude that pseudo molecular reactions are those whose molecularity is more than one, whereas the order is
Always equal to
equal
one.
to one. One typical example I remember, that is the inversion of the cane sugar. Cane sugar is nothing but the sucrose, C12H22O11. On hydrolysis, it is going to give the glucose and the fructose. Here, the hydrolysis, other reactant is the water. So the rate of the reaction depends only on the concentration of the sucrose, not upon the concentration of the water. Therefore, it's a bimolecular reaction, but order is one. It's a higher molecular reaction, but the order is one. Such reactions are called pseudo-molecular reaction. The explanation for this behavior you can give. That is, suppose if the concentration of the one of the reactant is very high, the variation in its concentration is almost negligible when compared to the concentration of the other one. Therefore, the reaction rate depends only on the one compound. So the other example for this category is the hydrolysis of the
Ester.
esters. That is
Hydrolysis.
the that particularly the acid hydrolysis of the ester. Ethyl acetate, like such an ester, when it is hydrolyzed, gives the acid and the alcohol. This reaction is also appears like higher order, but practically it is a first order reaction. Molecularity is 2, order is 1. So that is the clarification regarding the basic things, that is the rate of the reaction and factors influencing the rate of the reaction that we have to discuss.
Oh.
What are the factors that influence the
Ah.
velocity of the reaction? That is 4 important factors we can mention. We have so many factors for the to interfere in the velocity of the chemical reaction. So out of that, we have to discuss at least 4. That is the concentration of the reactant. Concentration of the reactant, if it increases, the velocity of the reaction
Also
increases. So concentration, as the concentration increases, the velocity also increases. A simple explanation can be given for this one. So if the concentration is increased, number of collisions between the reactant molecules increase. If the number of collisions increases, number of fruitful collisions also increases. Therefore, the rate of the reaction increases. The second thing is the
temperature.
temperature. So one can easily visualize that if the temperature is increased, the velocity of the chemical reaction also increases. So why the rate increases when the temperature is increased? We know that if the temperature is increased, the molecular velocity increases. The movement of the reactant molecules increases. If their velocity increases, number of collisions will be increased. Therefore, the rate of the reaction increases. Of course, in the further discussion, its dependence is very well explained by the Arrhenius equation and the theories. The next thing is the catalyst. Okay, catalyst is one which alters the velocity of the reaction. Of course, we know that there are 2 types of catalyst: positive catalyst and negative catalyst. Positive one increases, negative one decreases the velocity of the catalyst. And the fourth important factor that influences the velocity is the nature of the reactants. We can classify the entire chemical compounds into 2 categories based on the chemical bonding they have. That is the organic and inorganic. You can say ionic and covalent compounds. Organic compounds are covalent compounds. So therefore, the bond breaking and bond making process relatively slow. Whereas inorganic reactions are ionic, they are fast because they split into ions very quickly and participate in the chemical reaction. We have so many other factors also, not only the 4 factors that influence the velocity of the reaction. I am mentioning we have the important factors we have discussed about the 4 factors. Then what is the next thing, sir, in this chapter? About the
In this chapter, then should go for the expressions for rate constants
Yes.
for different types of orders of reactions.
Yes.
Just
The derivation of the expression for the rate constant. For 0 order reaction, for first order reaction, and second order reaction. So we have to go for the mathematical expression of that
cannot be
expression.
done.
So that is, you have to derive the expression for the rate constant. That is, k is equal to 2.303 over a, logarithm of a over a minus x. So first order for first.
4.303 divided by k,
Mm.
logarithm of a by a minus 6.
Yes. So that will be there for the first order reaction, and for second order reaction also we have the k, and in second order reaction we have 2 types of derivations, where both the reactants have got the uniform concentration and both the reactants have got the
Different
concentrations. So that derivation, long derivation will be there. We have to go through that derivation and we have to derive that expression for the 0 order, first order, second order. In second order, there are 2 types of derivations. Okay. Then the other thing is, I think, the practical determination of the order of the reaction. We have a few methods for the determination of the order of the chemical reaction practical. I think one of the method is the differential method. In differential method, the rate of the reaction is determined at various initial concentration, I think. So the concentration of the reactant is determined at various time interval, and of course using that information, so the order of the reaction is determined. Another important type of determination is one which is based on the half-life period.
This is very important.
Yes. In half-life period method, what people do is they start with the two different initial concentrations. For those two different initial concentration, they will find out the half-life. That is the K. For two initial concentration, the half-life is taken. And of course, by mathematical equation, by comparing that, so the order of the reaction can be determined. The another differential method is also similar to that one. So for two different initial concentrations, K is taken, this one is velocity is determined. Then by using that, the order of the reaction. One of the popular method it looks very simple, but it is very useful, particularly for the bimolecular reactions, that is the isolation.
Ostwald's isolation.
Yes, Ostwald's isolation method. So in Ostwald's isolation method, one of the reactant is taken in limited concentration. Other reactant is taken in very large excess. Suppose if it's a bimolecular reaction between A and B, the concentration of the A is taken in the limited portion, and concentration of the B is taken in very large excess. If you take the concentration of one of the reactant in large excess, the rate do not depends upon that particular reactant. It depends on the concentration of the first reactant. Okay. So the rate is determined, and the rate, of course, the order is determined with respect to A by other methods. In another chance, the A is taken in large excess, B is taken in small quantity.
Again, you have to determine.
Again, the order is determined by other methods with respect to B. The overall order of this bimolecular reaction is the order with respect to A plus the order with respect to B. So this is how you can determine the order of the chemical reaction.
Can you repeat once again what are the methods?
That is the
Differential method.
integration method. First method is called integration method, differential method, then half-life period method, and the Ostwald's dilution method. Sir, we shall talk about the possible questions in this category. So the possible questions are, so after the basic things, so we shall start from the molecular agenda order of the reaction. So the question may be, define the molecularity of the reaction. What is a unimolecular reaction? What is a bimolecular reaction?
What is pseudo-unimolecular reaction?
Pseudo-unimolecular reaction. Then
What is an order of the
reaction? Define order of a reaction, or explain the order of the reaction. How is determined?
Give any two differences between molecularity and
Order of the reactions. So that question should be there. And another important 4 marks questions, particularly with respect to the rate constant, is the derivation of the expression of the rate constant of zero order, first order, second order. 4 derivations will be there, and the second order rate equation derivations will be asked for the essay type of questions will be there. Okay. The next thing is the determination of the order of the reaction. Any methods, integration method, differential method, half-life period method, and Ostwald's dilution method may be asked. The next thing, one thing we left out, sir, that is regarding the half-life. The definition is very simple. It is the time required to reduce the initial concentration of the reactant to half of its original value. See, I used to say that it is the time required for 50% completion of the reaction. So in a simple way we can say, it is the time required to reduce the initial concentration to 50% its original value. And of course it is related to the rate constants. It is related to the rate constant of the zero order reaction, first order reaction, second order reaction. For first order reaction, it is a very popular one. Half-life period is equal to 0.693 divided by K. Okay. For second order reaction, half-life period is equal to, that is 1 divided by K into A. Okay. It is inversely proportional to the initial concentration. You have to remember that one. and we are supposed to solve the problems on this half-life.
Here you can mention for the nth order reactions, what will be the
Yes,
Half-life.
for nth
That
order
is
reaction,
very
there is a
important.
general equation, that is T of is proportional to 1 divided by a to the power of n minus 1, or inversely proportional to the concentration, initial concentration to the power of n minus 1, okay, where n stands for the order of the reaction. One has to remember that equation, and there will be problems on this formula also. Okay. That's something almost the 50% of the chemical kinetics we have discussed. Can you please tell something regarding the theories of the reaction? Just you say the principles of the theories of the reaction. Right.
So here we have two types of rate of reactions. One is for bimolecular collisions and one for unimolecular collisions. In bimolecular collisions, again we have two theories for our syllabus. They are collision theory and activated complex theory or transition state theory. Okay. In both the cases, the reactant molecules should acquire some amount of extra energy, that is called the threshold energy. Then only they will change it to products. So this is for collision theory and for bimolecular collisions. So first of all, if a collision to occur, there should be minimum number of two molecules. If these two molecules collide, then it should lead to products. But remember, all the collisions do not lead to products.
That means some of the collisions which acquire that
Minimum energy known as
threshold
threshold
energy,
energy.
and they are going to form the
Products.
and many collisions do not reach that threshold energy, and they will come back to the. I think that is the difference between this average energy and threshold energy is called energy of activation. Another energy of activation is the extra energy the reactant molecule in addition to the average energy acquired to reach this threshold energy. Okay, that is called the activation energy. More the activation, less is the rate of the reaction. Less the activation energy, more is the rate of the reaction. I think, so what is that Arrhenius equations?
It is also similar to Arrhenius actually has explained this collision theory based on the Boltzmann's distribution law. On that basis, they have explained the collision numbers.
That is K is equal to A into e to the power of minus A over
RT.
RT. So that is almost explains the temperature dependence of the rate constant of the chemical reaction. So based on that also you can calculate the energy of activation. So that is the energy of activation is equal to 0.303 R T1 T2 divided by T2 minus T1 logarithm of K2 by K1. Okay, that formula is derived from this Arrhenius equation. Yes, sir. Then could you please tell something regarding the Lindemann's hypothesis? Sir?
No,
Few points.
before that there is one more theory
Which one?
for bimolecular collisions.
Ah,
That is the transition
state theory. Yes, yes.
So here the reactant molecules, they react with each other and form some intermediate, namely some activated complex.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, then it will change to products. Here also it is almost similar to collision theory. This activated complex should possess some amount of energy which is suitable to change it to products. Suppose if this activated complex do not have that energy, it doesn't change it to products, but it again comes back.
Come back to the
reactant.
reactants. And of course this
So
theory
this
is
difference, again the energy of the activated complex minus the energy of the original reactant molecules is called energy of activation according to this theory.
yes, yes, yes.
According to the previous theory, collision theory, it is the difference between threshold energy minus actual energy possessed by the reactant molecules.
I think this is the most accepted theory because it can be related to the thermodynamical things also.
So for simple gaseous reactions, both theories will give ideal results. But for complex reactions, the collision theory is somewhat failed and it is somewhat successful with respect to transition state theory.
I do remember that Lindemann hypothesis actually actually collision theory, transition state theory are able to explain the bimolecular reactions. This Lindemann theory explains the unimolecular reaction. How exactly these unimolecular reactions are going to happen? So I do remember that according to this theory, even though the reaction is a unimolecular reaction, it takes place by the bimolecular collisions. Is it, sir?
Yeah.
Yes. There is a
But
time.
one thing is, though two molecules are involved here, the role of the second molecule is only to transfer the energy to the first molecule, and that first molecule goes to the higher energy level, that is the active molecule, you can say. Say for example, when two A molecules react with each other, that is A plus A gives rise to A star, where A star is the highly energized molecule. Then if A star has got sufficient energy, then that will change into.
So detailed derivation we have to go through and we have to study that one. And before the conclusion, so the theories may be asked for this one. What is a state and explain the transition state theory, explain the Lindemann's hypothesis, what is collision theory, explain the
What
collision
is
theory,
threshold energy?
threshold
What
energy,
is energy of activation?
energy of activation.
Energy of activation according to collision theory. Energy of activation according to transition state theory.
Those questions.
Those questions will be
Yes.
asked. Then what is steady state approximation principle?
Sir, before we conclude, let us see what are the problems that are going to be asked in this chapter.
They may be asked based on the expressions for first order and second order. Then there may be problems on half-lives.
So the half-life period questions frequently appears in the examination.
Yeah, and
That
then
is T off is equal to 0.693 divided by K.
that-
Particularly for the first order
order.
reaction.
uh,
K is given, T off is to calculate. And if T off is given, K can be calculated. T off is equal to 0.693 divided by K. I record my memory. This T off is equal to 0.693 is divided by K is similar to the radioactive disintegration. And thereby
Same.
we relate this one. Radioactive disintegration is in the first order.
There you will say that T half is equal to 0.693 divided by K.
Okay. Lambda.
Lambda.
Lambda here. we
Here
say.
you will say K. The lambda is the disintegration constant. Here is
Sir, could you please read out one of the problem related to this one, sir? So that is T off is equal to 0.693 divided by K. So the K will be given.
Okay, just I will read it.
Yes, sir.
The half change time
Uh,
for a second order reaction is 20 minutes
Hmm.
when the initial concentration of the reactants is 0.018 mole per dm cube. Calculate the value of K. So here the given reaction is second order. The half time is 20 minutes.
Yes, sir.
You have to calculate the rate constant K.
Sir, here the formula we are supposed to use T off is equal to 1 divided by Ka. If that K is a rate constant and A is the initial concentration. So they have given the half-life period is it?
Ah.
So we have to extract the half-life period and we have to with the initial concentration is given. So one has to take care by solving the problem, that is the units. So the unit of the K we are going to get is based on the unit of the time. Time may be expressed in T half may be expressed in seconds, minutes, days, like that, hours, etc. And you have to take care. And you have to take care of the concentration also, mole per dm cube also. That is units you are supposed to take care. And formula is T off is equal to 1 over K.
Because
So
the
any
given reaction is second order,
Yes.
therefore you have to apply this
You have a
formula.
So any of these missing parameter may be asked. Suppose if K is given, we can calculate T off.
Yeah.
If T off and K is given, A can be calculated. So another question is related to the first order. That is T off is equal to 0.693 divided by K. Here K is given, T off can be calculated. If T off is given, K can be calculated. It is a very simple thing. Then lastly, so in this chapter, the question may be asked to calculate the energy of activations. That the formula is a big formula, relatively 2.303 R, 2.303 R, T1, T2 divided by T2 minus T1, logarithm of K2 by K1. Okay, so that formula you are supposed to apply. Here two temperatures will be given, two rate constants will be given, and R, of course, you know that 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole, and based on that you have to go for the mathematical calculation. So in this same formula, they may ask you to find out the rate constants also. Ratio of rate constant, or one of the rate constant is given, other rate constant you are supposed to calculate. Energy of activation will be given, two temperatures will be given. So you have to find out the rate constant. Similarly, so rate constants are given, and energy of activation is given, one temperature is given, another
Find out
temperature,
one temperature.
another temperature also. You have to work out those problems. Okay, sir. So that is, viewers, that is something related to the chemical kinetics, particularly according to the Tumkur University. I think this discussion with our Dr. C. Vijay Bhaskar sir is useful, and that based on this discussion you can follow your studies, you can go through the studies, and you can get ready for the exam. Thank you, viewers. Thank you once again. If you like this video, you subscribe to our channels. My channel is Dr. KSK and his channel is Bhaskar's Chemistry. You subscribe to your channel, all videos you can download. You give likes, you give comments to our videos, and more, expect more and more videos from the from us, that is Department of Chemistry, Siddhartha First Grade College, Tumkur. Thank you.